Hi guys, my name is LochieCar here, back in another video, and I'm so sorry I've not uploaded in fucking ages. I know, the channel's dead, I haven't uploaded in a while, and it's been a lot of shit going on. I've just been focusing on my life more than the YouTube channel and focusing on my car and a whole bunch of stuff, right? So I just haven't really been paying attention to my YouTube channel lately, but yeah, more on that later on. If you want to know more, I guess maybe we'll talk about it. But today, in the video title, as I said, we're going to be going down into what I saw and experienced in this crime tour. I went in the CBD of Brisbane a couple of months ago. I pretty much did like a short notes version in my phone. I was wanting to do it like a Seaman Colby type video where you like interview the tour guide and all that shit, but for privacy reasons they said no, can't do that. So they were happy for me to just type notes and whatever. So I was the only guy there, so I felt like really odd. But like, I don't understand why some guys don't really like crime. Like, there was literally no guys there. There was literally just me, and everyone was female. But anyway, so I did a bit of background checks, and like did a full like English type school assessment piece on this. So this is gonna take a while. If you don't want me to yap on and stuff, go visit the crime tour. If you don't really like listening to me, that's fine. But I highly recommend going to this crime tour. It's brisbanecrimetours.com.au or something like that, or they also do ghost tours, which we were gonna do that night, but we didn't end up doing that, so that's a shame. But there's a lot of shit that I learned from Brisbane that scarred me a little bit, but let's jump straight into it. Make sure you like and subscribe. But anyway, let's get into it. So, as I said, recently I went to the CBD. I'm literally just pretty much reading from everything from my notes. This is like 1,200 words, so I'm sorry, bear with me. I'm gonna try and get this out. As I said, if you want to know more about this, I've done a short narrative. Just visit the crime tour. It's better if you do it that way. But if you don't want to stand around and keep walking in the middle of the city, I can explain on here. So the first crime scenes that we went to, I guess, was the murder of Veronica Armstrong. So this was Brisbane, 1947. They were obviously recovering from World War II. The city was a lot quieter, with more conservative than it is today, with more serious crimes, and it was uncommon. The sense of safety was shattered by a 19-year-old, or murder of a 19-year-old office worker, Veronica Mayne Armstrong, a case that shocked the city, ever leading asking questions. Veronica worked as a typicalist and a secretary in office's CBD medical clinic above Wallace Bishop Arcade, employed by the Brisbane Associated Friendly Societies. She was described as a friendly, capable, and well-liked. On January the 10th, 1947, she arrived at work as usual, last time she was ever seen alive. That afternoon, Veronica was left alone in the offices with her supervisor, Reginald Wingfield Spence Brown, a middle-aged accountant regarded as quiet and respectful. At some points, witnesses later recall hearing screams coming from the upstairs rooms, with no action was taken at the time. So a lot of people were screaming upstairs, because it was painful, or they hurt themselves, or the doctor was looking at it and shit like that. So medical practices weren't really that good back then, so you just gotta imagine that, right? The following morning, another employee arrived to make a horrifying discovery. Veronica's body was found on the room, in the floor of room 05, partly clothed and clear signs of violent struggle. Prosecutors later alleged that Brown had developed an inappropriate fixation on Veronica and attacked her when she resisted his advantages, restraining her and suffocating her. So please Police moved quickly and suspicion focused almost entirely on Brown within hours. He was formally charged with murder at the same day. The case was relied largely on circumstantial evidence, including injuries to Brown's hands and fingernails, which investigators believed were caused by Veronica fighting back. Brown's trial moved rapidly within 7 weeks, and was convicted and sentenced to life imprisonment. Just 9 days later, he was found dead in his cell at Bogoro Road, Gallo, having taken his own life. A note besides him declared his innocence. So, pretty much the whole time he was in jail, he was like, "Oh no, I didn't do anything." I'm like, bruh, fuck's sake, you're in jail, you committed a crime. And back then, and it's still happening now, but back then it was like way more often of like rape and all this kind of shit was going on. So that's fucked. That literally is. And like when we were there, the tour guide showed us a photo. I don't know if I'll be able to find it or not. Probably won't. But there was a photo of like the dude's fucking finger like half ripped off, and I'm like, shit. So that was really interesting. So then we walk to the next one we have is Patrick Mayne, a controversial figure. So Patrick Mayne was one of the most Brisbane's controversial historical figures. He was a butcher who became extremely wealthy in the mid-1800s and eventually donated large amounts of land and money to the University of Queensland and other institutions. However, a long-standing local story claims that his fortune may have started with a violent crime. According to historical accounts, rumours spread that Mayne murdered another man during a drunken altercation and stole money from him. There was never been a conclusive proof that this happened, but the story persists for generations to become Brisbane's folklore. Some historians suggest that the accusation might have been politically motivated. What is confirmed that Mayne has accumulated significant wealth quickly. He became one of Brisbane's early benefactors. His family donated land and helped establish the University of Queensland. Today, Patrick Mayne is buried in Toowong Cemetery, which a lot of people should know by now. It's one of the most haunted cemeteries in all of Australia, I'm pretty sure. And his grave is one of the most talked about historical sites. Some videos report an uneasy atmosphere around the grave due to the dark rumours attached to his name, which that's strongly a thing, because me and my old mates last year, I think it was, I was gonna do a video going to Toowong, but I wasn't entirely sure, because when we went there was like a whole massive sign like you literally could not be in the cemetery because it was that fucked. But we went in anyway. We just had a look around, and some of my ghost equipment, I didn't really have much. I just had my spirit box, and that was it really, and a flashlight. But yeah, when we were walking around, like we parked our cars at the top, we were walking around deep inside. I know that sounds wrong. I'm pointing at you, the dirty-minded freaks. But yeah, we were going around, walking around, and it was just getting colder and colder. Like we weren't going down necessarily, but it just felt weird, and like heavy kinda. And then we were getting close to the car, and then throughout the random parts of walking back to our cars, because nothing was going on, there was like a weird, strange cold breeze, or cold pocket out of absolute nowhere. And then when we got back to the cars, like literally standing next to the cars, and the car's completely off. They were still a little bit warm, but like we were probably 6 meters away from it, and it felt like nice and warm. So it was very strange how we were going through the cemetery, and it got colder and colder and colder, and then it was just waves of random temperatures just going back and forth. It was fucking freaky. But yeah, I really want to make a video on that. Hopefully I will soon, but let's continue. So the next murder case was Brisbane's Arcade murder, 1938. One of the most strangest true crime cases happened in the Brisbane Arcade. 1938, a woman named Margery Norman was found murdered in an apartment above the arcade. She was stabbed multiple times in what investigators described as a violent attack. No shit, Sherlock. The case gained attention because some people at the time associated with her fortune telling and occult interests through evidence is debated. Her partner, Patrick Bradley, was charged and convicted later of murder. Bradley claimed self-defense, but the court rejected the argument. The story helps fuel local legends in the arcade of the areas haunted, especially above the upper levels. While no evidence of the paranormal activity, staff and visitors over the years have reported strange noises and feelings late at night, likely adding to the myth. So that there was, I think, was the last like tour bit, so like the crime thing that we saw. It was weird. It was like now it's like a hotel type thing. But I think, let me go back, because apparently I literally got ChatGPT to go through the whole thing and detailed it more. But I'm pretty sure in my actual notes in my phone, I said something. Yeah, one of the theories was she might have been having an affair, and the dude obviously got jealous and murdered her, or some sort of coincidence or whatever. Here it is. Room 323. Apparently is where she died. Well, supposedly, it is haunted, not entirely. Like, the crime tour lady said, don't just go to this hotel and specifically ask for that room, because they're gonna be like, oh no, these couple of teenagers are gonna fuck around with it and shit. Like Sam and Colby, you go to there and you just ask, look, I want to book this type of room because it's just lovely. It's got a nice view and stuff. Don't make it out like you want to go there specifically for the paranormal side. That's just what I was told by the lady. And apparently we were sitting around the circle thing just outside the hotel. And apparently the lady has said that she's been doing this for over 2 years. And she's noticed that some people get like apples or something on their clothing just outside the hotel, which I found really interesting. So a bit of the crime is mixed with paranormal, which I really like. That's why I'm doing this video. So you guys can explore yourselves and then go visit the places if you're really interested in this. A lot of people these days are into crime. And all that kind of shit, so the justice system and all that kind of stuff. It was really weird, because me and my mate that I went with, we were staring at the window, and it had like the blinds, and over time the blinds opened up way more, and I swear to God, I'm getting goosebumps right now. I'm not joking around, but I'm pretty sure I saw like a dark figure or something like that. I don't know if it was because I was staring at the window for too long. I don't know exactly. I'm really hoping that wasn't the case. I go do out these things, go visit paranormal places, kind of more abandoned places, because I want to experience that myself in my own way. You know, like Sam and Colby, they do that because they want to showcase people the paranormal is real. Meanwhile, me, I'm doing it in my own way, because all the places that I want to go to are fucking down in Victoria. I mean, Queensland does have a few good places. I'm pretty sure Maryborough does. Rockhampton does. I think Toowoomba, maybe. But, yeah. I don't know. Everyone would have to go and do their own research. But this was really intriguing. Like, the Brisbane city, I didn't think it was that bad back in those days. So, anyway, there was another case, apparently that was really famous, and they actually put in the ground like a gold, you know how they have the Hall of Fame shit, and they put shit in the ground. Apparently this thing's in the ground. You can go search it for it. And I found it as well after we did this whole crime tour. Well, the group did, that I was with my mates. But yeah, the Whiskey or Go-Go fire, 1973. On March the 8th, speaking of the devil, it's the 14th. Which is really ironic that I'm doing this a couple of days after, many years ago. Anyway, the Whiskey Go-Go nightclub in Fortitude Valley was deliberately set on fire, killing 15 people. The attack was linked to organised crime dispute, and the traffic led to major changes in Australian fire safety and nightclub regulations. 2 men poured fuel into the entrance and ignited it. The fire spread rapidly throughout the crowd club, killing 15 people, and others were injured. The attack links was to organised crime in Queensland at the time, specifically involving the nightclub's ownership and extortion rackets. So it's a bit like those dodgy groups that run the clubs, and like they run drugs through the club or something like that. Organised crime. Yeah, in the movie shit, I didn't think that was real in nightclubs, but in Brisbane at least. But who knows these days? I'm not really involved with nightclubs that much. The 2 perpetrators were eventually convicted. This had a massive impact on our safety fire laws. That's why all of a sudden a lot of these buildings have to get regularly fire serviced a lot. The fire alarms, they need to make sure everything's there, obviously. With here, for example, where I live, when I first moved here, there was no fire safety things. There was just the fire alarms. But then in the next couple of months later, after I moved here, they started putting the fire extinguisher in, and like the safety plan, and like where to evacuate to. So yeah, that's kind of what it embedded in. Public awareness of organised crime influenced the Brisbane area during that era. During the public awareness of organised crime influenced Brisbane during that era. Today, it's still remembered as a major historical tragedy. As I said, it's emblemed. Now it's like an X-ray facility place. If you keep walking around, eventually you'll find the emblem on the ground. I'm pretty sure it's next to the traffic lights, somewhere at the front. But moving on. The Spring Hill Windmill. One of the old Windmill is one of the Brisbane's oldest structures. Convicts were forced to operate in punishment labour, and early executions took place nearby. Over time, ghost stories and urban legends became associated with the site. So you're gonna have to Google that. You know, as I said, I'm not gonna put everything that I saw in the crime tour, because then there'll be no point on going to the crime tour. But if you want to know more about this stuff, I highly recommend going. It's like $45 a ticket. But yeah, I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the last one. The female factory. The nearby female factory housed the female convicts in harsh conditions, including overcrowding, strict discipline, and forced labour. The location reflects Brisbane's early penal colony histories. Near the Windmill was the female factory where female convicts were housed. Conditions were extremely harsh, which I said before. Some accounts describe it as illness, mistreatment, and high mortality rates. The site contributed to Brisbane's reputation to having several historically unsettling locations tied to the early colonial punishment systems. And I'm pretty sure Brisbane is the most haunted. I wouldn't say haunted, most. Hold on. This is really confusing because I didn't set it up properly, the way I did in my notes. But yeah, no, sorry. Brisbane is the 3rd largest crime capital city in all of Australia. I think that, or the whole world. No, it would be in Australia. As I said, like, you wouldn't be able to see it well, but like that's what I have. It was just like short, and then I just got ChatGPT to expand on all of this. So I'm sorry if I'm like reading it out wrong. I just wanted to get it out there, get it over and done with, because I was wanting to do this ages ago, but I had a lot of shit going on. But these events revealed that modern Brisbane sites on top of the complex past involving crime, punishment, tragedy, and legend. Many of these locations still exist today, which why they remain a part of the historical crime, and there's obviously crime tours. So that's a female factory, I think. I can't remember where it is, but I remember you got the post office, and then you got Great Southern Bank in the CBD, like Brisbane Central. In that area, in the Australia Post, you'll see some of the stuff that they were doing with the female factory. The female factory, they were like working on everything essentially, so like making materials to build houses and literally everything, an everything factory. I'm pretty sure this is what it was referring to. I don't know, the lady at the tour was speaking a little bit too fast. I probably am too, but yeah, I really hope this makes sense. If it doesn't, you guys are gonna have to do your own research, I'm sorry. But this is just what I encountered in the crime tour. Unfortunately, I wanted to do it like Sam and Colby, but it would have been so much easier instead of having to do my own research and make a whole Word document just for this shit. But yeah, as I said, if you guys want to go and invest in buying a ticket to learn more about Brisbane, go ahead. They're pretty good. I really want to go and do the the ghost tour. That way it'd be more Sam and Colby style, because that's what I'm aiming for. I want to go how like Sam and Colby go to haunted places and talk to the tour guide, and then they get their own private space with the house and do like their own investigation there. That's the kind of stuff I want to do, but there's not much places to do that in. You need special requirements here in Australia. I think it's a bit more calmer and relaxed over in America, but here's probably a little bit more how you going. But yeah, with all being said, sorry for the app if you guys are interested. If not, I don't know why you'll still watch this video if you're not interested in crime. But anyway, yeah, I haven't uploaded in a while. I'm sorry, just a lot of shit's going on. Focusing on my car. Like, I'm still active on my socials, don't get me wrong. It's more, I'm not sure where to go with my channel now. I'm in a stage where it's like I don't have the motivation to keep going with YouTube, so I'm not entirely sure what I'm supposed to do. Whether or not do I just find videos to do, or an idea just comes up and me and my mates, we're just like, right, let's get a fucking recording done and then edit it later. That's kind of how I do it. I just do it on the spot, not really planned. But yeah, I don't know. When I was in school still, which is now a couple of years ago looking back, I was heavily on YouTube, and I thought that like that was the way I was going to go. And yeah, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do now. I'm more focused on my car. It's just life has taken over than doing YouTube all the time. But yeah, let me know. Let me know if you guys want me to continue doing YouTube, which you guys probably won't comment at all because you guys are just stubborn. But anyway, maybe some people might comment. But yeah, it's been a while, and yeah, I'll see you guys around if I even upload it again. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy this video, and yeah, have a good one.